The silence in my office wasn't peaceful. It was the kind that presses against your chest until breathing feels like work. The city outside had long gone still, draped in a soft haze that swallowed even the streetlights. Mine was the only window still glowing, a lone square of light among sleeping towers. Papers were scattered across my desk, unread. My heels lay somewhere under the chair, my white blouse creased from a day that refused to end. In front of me sat an old photograph. Savannah Beach. Michael's arm around my waist. Lily laughing between us while our two older kids raced the waves. I remembered that day, the salty wind, his easy smile, the way I thought we were unshakable. I thought wrong. Photographs tell only half the story. They never capture the silence that follows. Over the years, our house had turned into a theater of politeness. No fights, no shouting, just perfectly rehearsed lines. Michael Ward wasn't cruel in any obvious way. He never raised his hand or his voice. He simply directed, a puppeteer with invisible strings. His calmness had weight. His gaze alone could make a room still. And I, Elena Ward, his wife of 19 years, had become part of the set decor. He used to be different. He once made burnt pancakes on Sunday mornings and laughed at wildlife documentaries. He whispered silly stories into my hair until I fell asleep. Then came the promotion, regional director of a pharmaceutical logistics firm, and everything turned calculated. Every word measured, every gesture strategic. Even at home, he spoke like a man writing a business memo. He said his Thursday trips were vital. Regional oversight, team morale. I believed him. I even looked forward to those quiet nights, the soft hum of the refrigerator, a glass of wine, the feeling of my own space. One Thursday, I put on a silk blouse. Not for him, for myself. Something in me wanted to feel alive again. He came home early. His eyes scanned me, slow and assessing. "Interviews go well?" I asked. "Scheduled for Monday," he said. His tone flat as paper. We ate in silence, watched television without seeing, went to bed without touching. 2 weeks later, during a family trip to Asheville, a trip Michael insisted on for appearances, the performance cracked. We posed for photos at Blue Ridge Hall, smiled through dinner at Breyer's table, pretended to be whole. The kids laughed. I did too, because that's what you do when you're being watched. But Michael sat there like a sculpture, unmoved. On the drive home, I killed the radio and gripped the wheel. "Michael," I asked, "have you ever thought about cheating?" He didn't flinch. "Why do you ask?" "Because we're not really married anymore. We're roommates with shared bills." He turned to me, voice like ice. "That's an odd thing to suggest." "Maybe," I said. "Or maybe it's the only honest thing I've said all year." "If that's something you feel you need," he replied calmly. "You have my blessing." He said it so easily it frightened me. Blessing? No outrage, no disbelief, just permission. That was the moment I knew. He'd already imagined this conversation, maybe even planned for it. When we returned, I kissed the kids goodnight and lay awake, heart pounding, not from guilt, but from suspicion. The next morning, he left early, claiming he was helping his father fix a fence. Even the children rolled their eyes at that lie. I let it pass. I always did. By noon, my phone buzzed. It was his mother. Her voice trembled. "Elena, dear, we need to talk. It's about Lily." My stomach dropped. She explained that the genealogy kit we'd done last Christmas for fun had revealed something strange. A woman had reached out, claiming to be Lily's grandmother, but not from my side. Or Michael's. She says her son Adrian Cole is Lily's biological father. I nearly dropped the phone. Adrian, my former boss. Charming. Married. The man I'd once trusted too easily during Michael's endless trips. Nothing physical had ever happened, had it? I couldn't remember what those blurred nights meant anymore. Soft laughter, late drinks, a brush of his hand that lingered too long. That night I called him. He answered on the third ring. "Elena," he said quietly, "I've been expecting your call." The world tilted. From that moment, the ground beneath my life began to split. I started noticing small things. Michael's calm patience, his perfect timing. the way he watched, as if recording every move. Each Thursday, his trips, his silences, they all began to feel rehearsed. My doubts turned to dread. Then one evening, he spoke softly over dinner, his eyes steady. "Have you ever wondered," he asked, "what it would take to lose everything?" I forced a laugh. "That's dramatic." He didn't laugh back. 2 days later, he handed me divorce papers. The sound of that single envelope hitting the table was louder than any shout. And for the first time, I realized Michael Ward hadn't been blindsided by betrayal. He'd been orchestrating my downfall, note by note, while I was still learning the tune.